So I just realized that I gotta do this very, very fast. I gotta run blood work before I go to town. I knew I was forgetting to do something today. Come here. No. There you go. Yeah, down right here. There. Good girl. Ah! Freezing my fingers. Good girl. I don't really like where your head is in there. Hold on. Okay, honey. This gets really, really tricky when we're in winter. Right in there, though. Shoot.
Now, there are some things here that I should not have done. First of all, being I should not have done this in a rush where I needed to be somewhere at a certain time. I gave myself about a half an hour to do blood samples for 2 goats, which should not have been an issue except for the fact that it's cold outside and the goats have this thick winter hair. And the last time I ran blood samples was in the summertime when their hair wasn't quite so thick. And I did not have clippers to be able to clip and see that vein pop out properly. And so I thought I could feel it, but I was probably just feeling a lump of hair. And so it took me quite a while to try to find the jugular vein, which is where you draw the blood samples from for goats. And so that was my first mistake, was being in a rush, not having clippers to be able to clip their hair. Second, I'm going to talk about this headgate in a little bit. I'm cringing as I'm watching this, but for the sake of education and being real and not trying to pretend like I know everything, this headgate should have been adjusted more. So where she's sitting, this actually keeps her head um, pinned up higher, which is good. However, the way that her head was before, when it was at the bottom of the headgate and she was eating grain, that is a big, big no-no, and I should have made some adjustments before this. Where she is at right now is fine, but as you will see with Daisy coming next, we will talk about why this was such a severe issue. There is nothing wrong with drawing blood yourself if you have the proper tools, if you are educated enough. Really, all I have done was research, like, where's the position of the jugular vein in goats? What's the best way to draw blood samples? I have watched other YouTube videos on how to properly do it, and then I bought all of the proper gear and stuff for it, and I have tested probably over a dozen goats, I think, at this point, which does not make me an expert, don't get me wrong. However, to have a vet come out and draw blood for these goats is incredibly expensive. And if I can do it myself, it's no different than vaccinating a goat myself. I'm confident in it. The reason why I'm having troubles here is basically because it's their winter hair and I did not clip their hair, and so I was having a terrible time locating the jugular vein. Make sure you watch my summertime blood drawing video for the rest of the goats that got blood tested. I am testing for CAE and Johne's disease, and because Robin and Daisy are new goats to my herd, I needed to make sure that I had personally tested them and sent that off to the lab to be able to guarantee the results of my own herd. To spare you some of this, I did cut out about 3 minutes of just, feeling her neck, trying to pinch it, to find the jugular vein, to have that pop out, and I just was not having any luck. And then when I had the needle in and then the vacutainer goes into it, I could hear the vacutainer go psst, and so that basically meant that there was no vacuum left in the container. and drawing blood would be very, very challenging because it wouldn't actually be vacuuming into the container. And so I had to run back to the house to grab a good old-fashioned needle and syringe.
I don't know what's happening right now, but I'm praying to the Lord Almighty that He would do a miracle in her, and whatever's happening, that she would be okay. Please, God, please help Daisy to be okay. So we're doing better now. It's been about 10 minutes. I think she just choked. I gave her some neck massage, and then now she's just been standing there. This is not new froth. She's breathing fine. I'm going to leave her in here. I'm going to turn on this heat for her and just leave her in here and bring her a bucket of water. Hey, girlie. Living proof that goats can in fact choke, but she's so far doing fine. Hey, girlie. Everybody else is yelling for supper, and you guys can have supper later. Oh boy. That is on there very, very tight. I accidentally stuck myself with a clean but very, very sharp needle. So yesterday I was drawing blood for herd health testing for CAE and Yonis because Daisy as well as Robin are two new goats. And while I've been purchasing from clean and tested herds, or people who have purchased only from clean and tested herds, I want to do my due diligence and be able to guarantee from my farm that all of my results have been negative. Man, oh man, my thumb is bleeding pretty good. I thought it was going to stop. I jabbed it pretty good. So yesterday I had Daisy in here. I was working on drawing blood. I had problems with my vacutainer. And so I had to run back inside and grab a needle. Oh my goodness. This thumb is like bleeding like crazy. So I ran back inside just to grab an empty syringe and new needle just to manually draw blood and then put it into the vacutainer. So I ran back to the house and grabbed it when I came back, and Daisy was frothing at the mouth and foaming and coughing and like gagging constantly. And I had no idea what was going on. I know I had moved the needle around a little bit in the soft tissue in her neck to try to hit the jugular vein to be able to get the full vial of blood that I needed. Her neck was so tiny, it was just so hard to hit, coupled with the fact that she's got this thick, woolly winter hair right now, and I just was not hitting it in the right spot. So when I came back and I saw that she was foaming and frothing like that, I was petrified that I had punctured and damaged her trachea. And of course, this is like, my brain automatically went to worst case scenario, thinking about the horrible things. You know, I've just killed my brand new goat, and I was honestly like, I thought that I was watching her life being sucked out of her right before my eyes, and I was absolutely petrified. What happened was, this milk stand, the bottom is very, very close together, and it can be adjusted out this way, which, oh, there we go, like that. So can you see that, how the bottom adjusts? So what I should be doing is having it open wider on the bottom and then leaning in over the top of their neck. So it's more restricting them on the top of their neck versus having been pinching them under their throat. So what I strongly think happened was that she was eating and her throat was restricted a little bit. She was eating grain and it just balled up in there and it started to expand and she choked. I called the vet clinic and I was like, this is what's happening. What do I do? Did I like damage her trachea? What can I do? And like 30 seconds before that, I had run a quick Google search, like this is what her symptoms are. What does goat choking look like? And the symptoms described it perfectly, exactly what Daisy was doing. And so I actually started doing a throat massage, just gently trying to move whatever bolus thing of food was stuck in her throat. And within about 30 seconds to a minute, all of a sudden she was able to swallow properly again. Her heart rate started coming down, she started calming down, and all of a sudden she was not frothing anymore. And that happened pretty much right when I was on the phone with the vet. And she was like, nope, it just sounds like she choked. As long as she's breathing fine and she can drink and she can eat, there's no concern on our end. But if she continues to be struggling, then bring her in. We'll put a tube down her throat to dislodge whatever is still stuck in there. Now keep in mind, we live over an hour away from the vet clinic, and so I was really hoping it wouldn't come to that, because likely if it was a severe, like a blockage where she could not breathe for that long, you'd be looking at some very serious brain damage or death, really. And so I am praising Jesus that she is okay, that I was able to fix it essentially here as quickly as I could. But it was just a very, very scary moment for me, realizing that because this was not adjusted properly, it was just whatever adjustment the last farm had, that this could have killed her because it was restricting her throat. And even editing my vaccinating goats video that is going to come out before this one, I noticed how much it was restricting their neck, and they were all a little bit taller, so they didn't have the same choke, but yeah, I realized, wow, this needs to change, because this could have been an entirely different scenario where I could have lost a goat. And so yes, very scary, but thankfully Daisy's fine. I'm going to finish her blood draw because I still do not have enough of a blood sample to be able to send off for health testing. We're going to run her in again with this adjusted. I'm not going to give her any feed until I'm done, and yeah, that's about it. I'm also going to shave and try to pull from further up on her neck, just because I was pulling from further down, just the way that this is handled. So I'm going to try to close this off closer to behind her head, so I can access the higher part of her neck there. But this is adjusted. We'll see if this is too big now, if she can slip her head out, but I don't think she will be able to. And my thumb is starting to stop bleeding now that I've made like a whole blood trail on my floor.
Reba, the one that did not want to be going in the shed, she's sitting there waiting because she's like, oh, this is the routine now. Over here, what's happening? Hi, Robin. Hi, everybody. Are you so snuggly in there? Hi. There's Daisy's little bum right there. You guys are all curled up and nice and warm. Here, I thought that there wasn't enough room for everybody, but you guys you like that spot, huh? Need to put up some more wind blockage over there. Hi? Are you sweet girls? Aw, so happy. Hi, you're chewing your cud. Yeah. Hi, Winnie. What's that face for? And Sage and Willow. They're like, I ain't getting up for you. Are you crazy, woman? We are so cozy. Oh, man. So as you can see, she's chewing her cud. She's looking good. But boy, oh boy, this story could have ended completely different. Okay, that is so much better. Maybe a little bit too loose, but you see how there's no restriction in there, right? You should have it on the meaty part of the middle of the neck and the top part, because there's no breathing and swallowing that happens there.
Yeah, I know. Brilliant. All right. So I've just shaved a spot. Yes, it's not ideal, but because it's winter. But I am not even joking. Like, I just pressed my finger here and I can feel that vein. Whoop. Hey, girly. I can feel that vein right in there. Thank you. I love cleaning up goat poop. Yeah. Hey, girly. I have to do it. Oh, come on now. You step forward more at all? No? Right, honey? Goodness. How are we gonna do this? Come forward more? There you go. Good girl. There, beautiful. First time. You guys can't see it, but I'm just drawing my blood for Daisy. She's being an absolute wonderful champ. And we've got a full 6 milliliters there. You are a beautiful girl. Yeah. I was just too far over. That's right. I was. You're such a sweetheart. Yeah. Thank you for working with me. Yeah. Oh my goodness. You are a good girl. Yeah. Yeah, you were so brave with all of the pokes. You were. Okay, let's see. Looks like it's not bleeding anymore. Loosen you up. Beautiful girl. Yes. There we go. All that we need right there. I was more concerned about actually getting this than I was about getting the best camera view. I got a little hair on there. There we go. And we're just gonna fill this guy up. There we go. That's good. For those of you that are queasy, I'm sorry. That's it, that's all done. And I'm a mess. I definitely like the vacutainers better. Just this one had lost its vacuum. She's so pretty. Such a good girl.